Perfect. Alright, good evening everyone, and welcome back to F1 Broke Boys Tier 3. And because it's time for round 3 of season number 12, Qatar Grand Prix at the Losail International Circuit. Last week we had quite a chaotic race at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, with full wet quali, rain in the race as well. But we won't see any rain tonight, that's for sure, in Qatar. A wide circuit, barriers are quite far away, which be a good thing. Anyway, going into this round, Soul Demon and Parzival are your championship leaders. They are tied on points, both at 35. However, Parzival, he is not racing tonight, so it's up to Soul Demon to extend his championship lead. The next car in the championship is his teammate, Jumpy Painter, so Sauber are looking very, very strong, but Kainzon is only a few points behind. So is Sketchy Crib 12 of the championship lead. Then it's Born and Lennon's 6 and 7. Unsurprisingly, in the constructors, Sauber are your championship leaders by 23 points over Williams and 28 over McLaren and 30 points over Alpine. Now that's the standings going into this race. But things different again. You never know who's going to be quick and who isn't. And as I have said many times before, anything could happen. Speaking of things that could happen, just right on board with the Aston Martin of Shark, the car that I was driving yesterday in Tier 1. I didn't make it very far. Shark is on his first lap in qualifying. And on the first lap of the race, at the exit of this very corner, the car in front of me spun and I couldn't avoid, and I got taken out. That is something can happen, even though the barriers are very far away. That incident can happen at any time between two cars, which could also still end your race. Unfortunately though, qualifying is well underway. And it's going to be S12 FC who is going to be kicking it off as he starts his first flying lap. Heading into the first braking zone of turn 1. Then turn 2, it's quite a quick track with not many heavy braking zones. Flat out to the kink of turn 3. Then turns 4 and 5 can be incredibly tricky with track limits on the outside. The S12 is taking it quite carefully. Now into the hardest braking zone of this track, turn 6 into the hairpin. You have to throw your car in there, and then turn 7 means quite tricky on throttle. So have to watch out for track limits on the inside and outside. And the flat kinks of 8 and 9. Down into the braking zone of turn 10. Which opens up nicely onto a little straight, although it's not very straight. And then these turn 12, 13, 14 and 15 should be taken flat out through qualifying. As S12 does run a little bit wide, maybe even a slight lift in first few laps, especially in the race through that turn 15, and then the final turn 16, opening up to the start-finish straight with the only DRS zone of this track, and then first lap time on board will be a 122.501, but quickly gets beaten by Born with a 121.7. Sapphire just over a tenth behind. Soul Demon slots into P3, and there comes Kai, who is 5 thousandths of a second behind the Williams. Next, Shark in the Aston Martin. He goes up into P3 as Jumpy Painter goes quickest by 2/10 of a second in the other Kick Sauber. Butch Terry only P8 for him for now. And Critical Skills, he then goes up into 7th place, but then gets replaced by Netherlands in the Red Bull. Netherlands, who was in a position of winning the race last week. I think he had an incident or some sort, something that happened with him. I remember a lot happened during that race actually. In the end, it was Parzival securing the win after a very late safety car, which brought the back right back together and got him back in contention as the cars in front of him had time penalties and he did not. And that is what eventually won him that race. Tolu then, P4, he had issues last week with his equipment. Meant that he only finished in P7. Still a decent result with everything that happened. But Tolu is only 11th in the championship, while being a championship contender last season, up to the season finale with Jesus. And Jesus himself is P13 in the championship, so P1 and P2 in the championship of last season are currently nowhere near in championship contention, but anything could change anytime. Wardy, in the meantime, is going to P5, just behind Tolu, which leaves only 5 drivers without lap time, including both of the Visa Cash App RBs. Jesus, Kainzon and Marcel in the Ferrari, making his debut tonight, but it seems like he has invalidated his first lap. Oh. He's gonna try again now, as both the V-Corps have gone out now as well. After the first lap times, Jumpy Painter is on provisional pole position, and the 21.5 is actually quite decent, quite good for a banker lap. And he's over 2/10 clear of Boyern. Go. Party of Marcel navigating his way around the Losail circuit. Exit off turn 7. quite tidy around now. Will it be a tidy time as well? We'll have to find out. The map displays a purple second sector. It seems to be quite a good lap. Will it be good enough though to beat Jumpy Painter's 121.513? It's gonna come across the line. He doesn't quite beat it, but he does go into the top 5 with a very good effort. First lap, Kind Fuel and Alpha Eyeball both in the V-Carb. Both on their first lap times. Alpha Eyeball has been struggling so far this season. Picked up a win last season, but at the moment he's B19 in the championship with only 2 points. Which are actually the only points of the Visa Ketchup RB team, making him the lowest scoring team across all tiers so far. We would like to change that tonight. Across the line, 121.6, very good lap time, front row lockout at the moment. And that is more like it for Alpha Eyeball. And what can his teammate for tonight do? Kind Fuel then into the final corner, going into the pit lane. He can't do anything right now. What about our reigning world champion? 2-time tier 3 champion. Jesus. The final sector. His teammate at the moment just inside the top 10. This is usually not the strongest in qualifying. What can he do now though? P17 only, with 122.5, just over a second of pole position. Again, very close between everyone. Top 17 within a second. And what can Kindzone do? He was in contention for the race win at Bahrain, but he lost the lead on the final lap of the race. In Austria he finished only 8th, but I think he had an incident which put him down the order. Lennon's just go up to P5, yeah he did, in Red Bull. Soul Demon goes fastest, 121.4, 15 thousandths of a second ahead of his teammate, while Sly DJ goes up to P3. Times are coming in. Kindzone, along with Kind Fuel, the only one to set a lap time. 7.5 minutes remaining. Kai has invalidated, he's got his teammate right behind him, but I think he's about to start on a lap. Wardy is as well. 2 Haas cars currently P6 and 10. 7th in the championship, and Kai has gone off. I think he gave his team a little bit of slipstream. See at the end as Kindzone gets his first lap time in, goes P5, but then quickly gets replaced by his teammate. 2 Alpines separated by only a few thousandths of a second, currently on the 3rd row. Wardy certainly has gained time with that. He's 3.5 tenths off P1, but he's down to P11. But he just gained over 1.5 tenths through the first sector only. Need to find a little bit more time though to try and beat the Kick Sauers at the front. When he is going faster, 3.5 tenths, he's currently right behind or in between Soul Demon and Jumpy Painter if he finishes exactly like this. But I'm sure he can find a little bit more time in the final sector as well. Wardy is on the lap that could be the provisional pole position time, making his way around the final corner just within the track limits. Run to the line, Wardy, can he go quickest? Yes, he can go quickest. The 121.3 puts him on provisional pole position by almost 2 tenths of a second. Very strong lap indeed. even though with a little bit of help of his teammate, he is clear of anyone at the moment. As Boyern, he goes up to P4. It's so incredibly close between P2, 3 and 4. Sterry has invalidated. Critical skills right behind him. Currently in P15. Ooh, and he has invalidated as well. That's an interesting place to invalidate. Beat in the McLaren slots in right behind his teammate in P14. Kind Fuel, the only one to set a lap time. Is he finally gonna do it? Yes, he is. Kind Fuel across the line. 1:21.759. That is gonna be good enough to put him inside the top 10. Only a tenth faster and he's inside the top 6. That's just how close it is. Sketchy grip 3/10s up through sector 1 or sector 2. Can he keep that up in the final sector? Playing it safe with the track limits. He is going to pull into the pit lane. I've got 2014 Vettel in that Red Bull. Jesus, yeah. Reigning world champion. At the same team that he won his championship last season. Oh, that's actually not true. He was at Ferrari. He did win with Mercedes, I think, the season before. But reigning world champion in P20. Three and a half minutes remain. Shark is not improving through sector 1. Down in P13, not looking too great for Aston Martin. Then again, the entire top 17 is within 1 second. S12 unable to improve. In fact, he invalidated, so he is going to have to pull into the pit lane once again. S12 is having a lot of issues this season so far. Really struggling. I think he is in the bottom of the standings. Yeah, just within the top 20. He's P20 with 2 points only. Ferrari in general are having a tough season in Tier 3. Speaking of Ferrari, S12's teammate for tonight, Marcel, has been disqualified for what? I didn't quite catch that. For blocking the pit lane. Oh, that is far from ideal, and hopefully his AI is not blocking other cars as well. This is not ideal. But Marcel, he will be starting in P20 as his Ferrari finally pulls to the side of the track. I was going to say Ferrari has been struggling so far, but not that much. The other Ferrari now P17 and P20. They're P9 in the constructors with 5 points. Now it's looking even more unlikely to score any good points tonight. As Marcel was, I think he was inside the top 10. Now in P20. We've got 1 minute remaining, everyone else is out on track. Looking to find an improvement. Will be the first one to improve. I think it is Sapphire. in the McLaren. Currently in P13, goes across the line, all the way up into P5. And that is a good improvement indeed. Then we look at... What are we looking at? The other Mercedes of Sly DJ. He's improving by 5/100ths of a second. Just for see, I'm not sure if he's gonna make it. With 15 seconds remaining, it's gonna be very close indeed. Just Sly DJ improves up into 6th place. The Ferrari is having trouble, but just for see barely makes it to the line in time with 4 seconds on the clock. Then it's Kai, and he is not going to improve. He's putting it to pit lane. He will be P10 at best. Then we look at Tuisteri, and has invalidated all the way down in P16. But what about the Saubers? Oh, Soul Demon is invalidated. Can Jumpy Painter improve though? As he goes to the line. No, he misses out by 8/100ths of a second to Wardy, who is still on provisional pole position. But here comes Boyan, goes quickest. Boyan with a 1:21.2. What about Wardy? He's not improving through sector 2. And it's not looking like it is going to improve in the final sector. Could this be a maiden pole position for Boyan in the Williams? R5 wall has not improved. Pete is out. Jesus, only P14. Tolu in the Alpine goes into the top 5. But nobody is able to beat Boyan's lap time. Lennon's goes 7th. Kind Fuel has invalidated. The eyes are on Sketchy Crib. He's only P11. And that is the end of qualifying, I think. Oh no, only just for C. But he's not improving. He's down in P19. And he might stay in P19. He does. So Boyan in Williams takes pole position here in Qatar tonight. And a brilliant lap to hopefully get him back in contention. Look at that. 21 thousandths of a second separating himself and Wardy, who couldn't improve on his final lap. Kicksauber once again very strong, covering the second row. Tolu, Sly DJ, Lennon, Sapphire, Alpha Ball and Kainzan cover the entire top 10 by under 4/10. Sketchy Grip, Kai, Shark, Kind Fuel, Critical Skills, Jesus, Pete, Tuisteri, all within 1 second, within 8/10 in fact. C, the only one outside of second in P19, and Ferrari are on the last row. What a qualifying for Williams and Boyan. His maiden pole position. He was P4 on the grid in Austria. And P12 on the grid in Bahrain, which was an incredibly close qualifying session as well. But once again, it is so incredibly close in quali. 7/10 off, and being P17 is a joke. Yeah, that's just how close it is. It's incredible. See the field being so competitive. It's really great to see. Yeah, it can be frustrating if qualifying is your weakness. Especially when there's only 1/10 covering yourself and probably 5 positions ahead. Strategy wise, we will be looking at hard mediums or medium hards. Not only that, because you also want to stay within the DRS train. DRS trains are very prominent here in Qatar. Even though you only have one straight, you don't have too many braking zones. It's quite difficult to build a gap. Currently the majority are starting on the hard compound tire, meaning they will have the advantage near the end of the race. is where it matters. What can happen? A few moments away. Start of round 3 of the season. Will it be Kick Sauber? Will it be someone else? They sure are the team to beat right now. Last week you saw that it is possible to beat them. A few drivers starting on mediums, so here we go. The 5 red lights. Boren on pole position, Wardy alongside. The lights are out and it's a drive to penalty for Sly DJ for jumping the start. Oh, that's not ideal for Mercedes. Sly DJ does have a good start because of that. But he is going to have to serve that penalty. Boren is able to maintain the lead of this race ahead of Wardy. Then it's Soul Demon who is just ahead of Sly DJ. Then with his jump start, a bit of contact between himself and Jumpy Painters on the mediums as well. So that is far from ideal, as this is the time you want to gain positions. In the background we've got Kai and Fuel, and Kai have collided, they've gone off. Already having a disadvantage. Leads down to P18, 2 Ferraris have made up a few places as well because of that. Now in the second sector, that is Kain's on a bit out of shape on the exit of turn 6. Drops in all the way down to P11. Oh, contact between Soul and Wardy, and Jumpy Painters having trouble as well on the exit, dropping down to P6. Sapphire, because of that, he is now inside the top 15, top 5 I should say. Dolu down into P7. Boyan leads though by almost 1 second over Wardy. Wardy needs to stay within the DRS range. He can't have Boyan walk away at this stage of the race. DRS will be able to next lap. I'm sure Boyan will use quite a bit of ERS to try and build a gap already, but looks like he's unable to do so just now. Let's take a look then at the positions gained. Fast lap of the race, of course, for Boyan. Oh, there we go. Sapphire, 3 positions gained because of that. Jesus, he's up by 4. Marcel and the Ferrari up by 6. Bit of a chaotic start. The top 2 have remained the same. Bull Demon already looking to try and find a way past Wardy. He's on the medium compound tire. He needs to get past as soon as possible. He's going to have a little go around the outside, but that's not going to work out. Might go for the switchback now on the exit. Does he have the better traction? He does. Beautiful move there by Soul Demon. Gets past Wardy. And that's how you overtake. And he's now up into second place. Sly DJ then. He's on mediums as well, but he knows that he has to serve that drive-through penalty. And the next man on mediums is just for FC in P15. He's right behind his teammate. Hopefully they won't fight each other too much. Especially not in the opening stages. Looks like Born is unable to build a gap. 4/10 it is to Soul Demon. But Soul on the mediums, he is going to be quicker at this stage. Born needs to do is stay within the DRS range of the Sauber, who I'm sure is going to get past now. It's the fast lap of the race. DRS open, and Soul Demon takes the lead of this race on lap 3. The winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix and our championship leader takes the lead of this race. What has happened to Kainzon? He's down at P18. He was in the top 10 on the opening lap. What must have happened as we see critical skills and Marcel going wheel to wheel. Through turns 4 and 5, the Aston Martin has to go off track, bit of contact between himself and the Ferrari. Now the Ferrari sandwich, as shot football has seen in the mediums. He goes round the outside, more contact with the Aston Martin. Now under pressure from Terry. Good start for Jesus. He's up to P12. Form though, because he knows that his teammate, well, not sure if he knows, but his teammate has a drive-through penalty. He will drop down the order, probably on this lap, as he has 3 laps to serve it, and there he goes. Slide DJ pulls into the pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty, which is a very, very painful one. In the meantime, Boyan has retaken the lead of this race on the hard, so he does have the pace of the medium runners, as we see Jumpy Painter fighting it out with Tolu and Sapphire. In P5, Tolu has a little go at the Kicksauer. You don't want to go wheel to wheel through turn 4 and 5. We've seen that last lap. The Kicksauer runs a little bit wide as well. And Lennons is lurking in the background. Can he find a way past? Kainzon drops further down the order. P18. Doesn't have any damage, but he sure is struggling at this stage. GT has come out in P20, 7.5 seconds off the next car. He has to hope for a safety car, because this will be a race of damage limitation, or it will be a comeback race for the Mercedes driver, if he can come back. Be quite difficult around Qatar. Soul Demon has found a way past Bourne again, but Bourne is finding a way past Soul Demon again into turn 1, and these 3 are building a gap towards the rest of them, as Jumpy Painter gets past Tolu and Sapphire. He's now up to P4, but he's 2 seconds behind Wardy. Second time penalty for Sapphire. That's not ideal on lap 5 only, as Ripple nearly runs into the back of the McLaren. Braking zone of turn 6. Lennons seems to be the quicker of the two, but he's now also under pressure from Sketchy Crib. That's a bit of a poor exit coming out of turn 7. Everyone all the way down to P18. Kainzon is still within the DRS range of each other, up to Jumpy Painter in P4. Then it's the top 3 who have driven away. Boyan, Soul Demon and Wardy. They will have to work together in this stage. Soul Demon pulls to the inside, and he is going to retake the lead of this race on lap 6. Kicksauer back in front of the Williams. Background, these two are still fighting it out, not working together at all. Tolu and Jumpy Painter. The Alpine does get in front of the Kicksauer. Bit of a laggy situation of contact between the 3 of them, in fact. Sapphire also very close to the back of Jumpy Painter. Pete in the McLaren has almost lost the DRS. Doesn't have the critical skills. Become quite problematic for himself and the cars behind him as he runs a little bit wide as well, losing some speed in the process. Running wide again, and that is a 3-second time penalty. But he is still within DRS range. Sketchy Grip has had a moment, I think, because Alpha Ball has got past and he's now fighting with Marcel as well, while Bourne retakes the lead of this race. It's a massive scrap in the midfield here on the main straight, almost 3 wide going into turn 1. With the Ferrari of Marcel up the inside, he's up to P9 from 20th on the grid. What has happened to Sapphire? Losing all sorts of speed. He was in the top 5 a moment ago. Now is fighting it out with the Ferrari. And Marcel, is he gonna inch ahead? Oh, more contact. That could have ended very badly. But Ferrari eventually gets in front. And what a comeback drive so far for Marcel. P20 to P8. 12 positions gained. And looking to gain even more. Though Alpha Wall are struggling to stay within the DRS range of the top 6. Ooh, Marcel does pick up a 3-second time penalty though. Hamper his progress. Soldeem has to defend against Wardy. We go 3 wide momentarily. Soldeem and Wardy both getting past, and Wardy is going to go for the double overtake on the main straight, but still has Soldeem round his outside into turn 1. This is a fight for the race lead. Out on track. Sol on the inside, Wardy on the outside. Kind Fuels retired in the pit lane. Sol now on the outside, still a bit of contact between himself and Wardy, but Wardy finally clears the two of them, and Wardy is our new race leader on lap 8 with a double overtake on Sol and Boyern. Great move indeed to secure the race lead, as Marcel on the charge, now fighting it out with Tolu, who's on the inside. But there's nothing Tolu can do to defend, and the Ferrari is up to P7. Laps to go. Still a long way to the end, as Lennons now also picks up a 3-second time penalty. Bull Demon under pressure from Boyer, and the Williams is gonna try and pull alongside, but he can't quite do it. Soul Demon is gonna re-overtake the Haas though. Soul Demon into race lead. Wardy, who overtook 2 of them, is now gonna drop back both of them, and Wardy's down to P3, as he has to play this tactically. They can't lose too much time with fighting it out this early on in the race. So Wardy is back down into P3. Alpha Wall is now the one in front of this train. About a cent and a half of Marcel on the inside of the Red Bull of Lennons, but Brennans is able to stay in front as he had the better exit coming out of turn 6. Looks like Pete now has definitely lost the connection to the top 14. Or does he? No, he doesn't. See Kainzan and Twisteri having a scrap. Twisteri is having an awful race as well. He's down in P18. Once again, swapping for the race lead. Bourne re-overtakes Soul Demon. There we have Jumpy Painter and Lennons going for a double overtake up to P4. Jumpy Painter always defends his position no matter what, and then has to stay in P5. Sly DJ has retired from the session in pit lane. Fortunately, his race was ruined even before turn 1, lap 1, as he picked up a drive-through penalty. Once again, Marcel up the inside of Tolu, bit of contact, but he gets the job done. And that sees him up to P6. Alpha was P4 a lap ago. He's now in P8 due to that DRS strain. Jesus gets past critical skills for P13. Soul Demon is going to re-overtake on lap 11. Kicksauber is back at the front of the field. And Marcel is going to go for a double overtake from P20 on the grid. He's going to go up to P4, but he pushes the Red Bull wide. And Lennons, as a result of that, drops down 2 positions. Jumpy Painter also gets past. Or he will be unhappy with that, as he also got Tolu now up his inside. Not really a place you want to overtake. The Alpine has to back off. That has now put Marcel into P4. 16 positions gained. But the gap to the top 3 is over 4 seconds, which is really, really difficult to close. Especially when they're in the DRS train as well. Second time penalty now for critical skills. The penalties start coming in. We've only got 8 drivers currently without one. We also have got still 18 laps remaining. Here comes Bourne once again, as he goes for the race lead, and Bardi is going for it again as well. Wheel to wheel through turn 1. Doesn't get past Bourne, but he gets in between the 2 of them. Up at the second place, and Soul Demon, he started on the mediums. And for how much longer will he stay out on track? L5 wall, another one to get a penalty. Just what I see is pitted early on lap 12, lap 11 to go into the hard compound tire, going for the undercut. The overcut is usually better, but track position might be the play. Yeah, when you're in a DRS train like this, you think the overcut wouldn't quite work, because you will drop so many positions, and it's really difficult to overtake when you're in a DRS train. So Jumpy Painter, he's in P4 right now. If he goes for the overcut and pits a few laps later than everyone behind him, he might be coming out in P17 after his pit stop, and you will spend the rest of the race trying to re-overtake. So the undercut might be the strategy, although these two have also on the hards. Soul Demon now has finally pitted. So everyone now on the hard compound tire. Soul started on mediums, and he will go to the end on the hards. And I'm sure he will be coming out in the race lead after Bardi and Bourne pit, because Soul Demon will have the tire advantage for a few laps. Then Bardi and Bourne can work together to close the gap. Fight for the race win again. Looks like it's between these 3 for the win tonight. Born once again close to the back of the Haas. And with the help of DRS, Slipstream and ERS, he's gonna re-overtake on lap 14 as he pulls it back ahead of the Haas. Born leads once more. There comes Jumpy Painter as well, and Lennon's almost going 4 wide into turn 1. Oh, contact as Marcel almost goes around as Jumpy Painter, Tolu, Lennon's and Marcel make contact, and oh, and that's Sapphire into the side of the Ferrari, and that's front wing damage for the McLaren. It's all kicking off on lap 14. That was quite hectic going into turn 1. It was never going to work out 4 into 1 on any corner, on any racetrack. And Marcel comes off worst. He's down to 7th, though Sapphire, he's got front wing damage as a result of that, so ideal situation here. And the gap now has also grown by another second to the top 2. But I think those were far out of reach of these drivers anyway. And that is the difference in this race. Bourne and Wardy, they are working together, but these drivers from P3 down to all the way down to P17, they're just fighting too much, especially in the top 10. Give them so much time. And there comes Lennon's steaming past into turn 1. Gets P3, but Jumpy Painter has a little go once again. Both Marcel and Tolu have pitted for mediums quite early on lap 14. It's a yellow flag momentarily, I think, for Pete in the other McLaren. So Marcel and Tolu have to do more laps on mediums than they did on the hards. As they come out 8 seconds behind Soul Demon. Probably want to stay out for a little while longer, or when you start on hards. Bourne is almost pushing Wardy through the corners. Halfway into this race, these two still staying out, and Bourne once again gonna go for the move as he gets past in the background. A couple of cars going into the pit lane. Lennon's, Jumpy Painter, and Pete. Onto the mediums they go. Where are they gonna come out though compared to Marcel and Tolu? Because that is the cars they were fighting. I think the Ferrari is going to come out ahead. So is the Alpine. Tolu gets past Marcel into turn 1. And they both get out ahead of Lennon's and Jumpy Painter. Task to Lennon's now is to stay within the 1 second though of Marcel. Easier said than done, because he has come out on colder tires. Take a while to warm up. But what does help though is that Marcel is going to fight Tolu in the middle of the track as he gets ahead. And now Lennon's is well within the DRS range. Bourne and Wardy still staying out. The gap is 9 seconds now to Sapphire, who's got front wing damage. And George is staying out. That is Kainzon and Shark. Or Shark and Jesus and Twitch Terry putting it to the pit lane now. Sapphire now drops down to P5. So Fireball and Sketch Grip both get past. Soul Demon in a lot of free air. It is great news for him. He doesn't have to fight anyone. Gap to Tolu though is down to 6.3 and it was 8 seconds a few laps ago. Bit of contact as Marcel hits the back of Tolu, but he does get past up the inside of turn 6. They keep fighting so much. Just losing them time. The entire top 8 is yet to pit. Bourne and Wardy both into the pit lane now, race leaders on lap 17. Where are they gonna come out compared to Soul Demon, who pitted 4 laps earlier? Kainzan is the only one to stay out. Everyone else from the top 8 does pull into the pit lane. Sapphire decides to not replace the front wing as cars pull into the fast lane ahead and in front. But Soul Demon expectedly has jumped both Wardy and Boyan by, well, 2.5 seconds. What has happened to Boyan? What has happened to the Williams? He is 2.5 seconds behind Wardy. He was right behind him when he pitted. That is very strange. Did he mess up his pit stop or did he have front wing damage? I don't think he did. Truth is that he's lost his advantage to the cars behind and he's now gonna gap close towards Wardy. That could have just completely ruined his chances of winning this race. Kainzan is the final one, final driver to pull into the pit lane, and he does so at the end of lap 18 onto 19, so 11 laps to go for the Alpine, and he's gonna go onto the soft compound tire. No, he's not. That was a illusion. He's gonna go into the mediums, but I reckon he's gonna come out behind the entire train. Is he actually gonna come out ahead? No, he is gonna come out behind, probably as they go wheel to wheel towards turn 1 sketchy grip, and Sapphire down to P14 as Kainzan comes out wheel to wheel with Kai, but eventually he's down in P18, but with the best tires, so could he potentially gain a few positions and get himself a few points. Wardy is rapidly closing the gap to Soul Demon. Went from 2.5 down to around 1 second now. And great news for Boyan, because he has broken free of the group behind him, 1.2 to Tolu. So he can now focus on closing the gap to the 2 cars ahead of him. When I said undercut, that didn't mean self-sabotage, yeah. As Kai now gets a 3-second time penalty. Still remains interesting as, wow, Wardy goes for the race lead on lap 20. He just gained an entire second in this lap. In this half of lap. Gets ahead of Soul Demon. And he has taken the race lead, and could he go on to win? Yes, Soul Demon doesn't seem to have the pace of the cars around him. Pete says he loves getting hit. It's interesting. They've contacted the back end there. Kainzan, Kai. Veel skills. Kippenrijder. Ja, leuk. successful with FC, must be said. With his undercut, does find himself inside the top 8. But he's got 10 cars behind him in this DRS train, who will be faster with the tire advantage. See where he finishes, with how many positions he can hold on to, as we see one of the McLarens in the background going off track. Jesus gets past, he's up at the P8. And Toy Terry gets past as well, who made some great progress, by the way. He was in last place not too long ago. And with the undercut, he's jumped quite a few people. And what's happening in the background, all sorts of positions placed, position changes. Just what I see, he's gone from 8th down to 14th in just one sector. And that is Kain's on the inside of critical skills. That's a bit too much of a send there. And Kai says thank you very much. He takes both of the positions, but critical skills getting forced off track there by the Alpine, and he's down in P18 now. You hate to see it. I'm surprised to see that Soul Demon is able to stay with Wardy within DRS range. So Soul Demon is giving himself a chance of winning this race. Born is faster, but with this DRS zone, he's just losing too much time and he can't make up for it in the rest of the lap. Then gets past Marcel, so does Jumpy Painter. As the Ferrari drops down to 7th, critical skills has retired from the session, unfortunately, on lap 22. Retirement number 3. Aston Martin is out. It's like it's now split into 3 groups. We've got the top 3, although Born is not really part of it yet. Then we've got Tolu, Lennons, Jumpy Paint, Marcel, and then the remainder of the field from Derry down to P17 Kainzan. Got 7 laps to go. Born is closing, but not by much. And he's losing quite a bit on the main straight. The gap was 1.7 last lap, it's 1.6 on this lap, so he gained around 1/10. He's in towards Derby's swapping positions. There comes Shark as well. Having a look up the inside of the Red Bull as we go wheel to wheel through turn 1. And behind them Al5 Wall and Sketch Grip going at it as well. Al5 Wall gets past the Williams, now on the outside of Shark in the Aston Martin. He's going to have a go around the outside, but he doesn't have the grip to do so. And he's going to have to stay behind for now. 11. We're closing and closing, 1.5. As soon as he gets within DRS range, he knows that he has a chance of winning this race. He's just a few tenths off right now, 1.3 on to lap 24 of 29. 6 laps to go. Soul Demon is going to retake the lead. He gets past Wardy. Despite being on 11 lap old hard tires, he has the pace of the drivers around him who are on 6 lap old mediums. Pete now retires on lap 17. 4 retirements. Shark and Alpha Ball, the V-Garb goes off track, fighting with Aston Martin. They're in the same position now, but now Alpha Ball is on the inside, and this time he does get past, up to P10. As Marcel has gone off track on the exit of turn 6, looks like he has spun, fighting it out with Jumpy Painter, Lennon and Tolu, and he's now outside the DRS zone, DRS range of the cars in front, and now he's vulnerable as well to Jesus and Toursteri, because these two have not picked up a 3-second time penalty. Well, Marcel has 12 seconds, so he's definitely going to lose a few more positions. .1, not quite it for Boyan. He is closing every single lap. Barty now is gonna retake the lead as he gets past Soul Demon. 5 laps to go. And Boyan is on 1.3. And Marcel has retired in pit lane, despite being in a point scoring position, making it 5 retirements. 3 in the last 5 laps, I think. As Kai, Sapphire and Kainzon fighting it out. A bit of contact between Kai and Sapphire. I think the man's still running with that front wing damage. Yes, he is. Disastrous race for Ferrari. Just Football FC is going to score 1 point. But they're going to drop behind V-Carb for sure, with Alpha Wall in P9. Oh, Barty. Barty is very quick right now. He has broken free of Soul Demon. I'm not sure what Soul Demon is doing right now. He seems to be almost holding up Boyan for some reason. But the Williams is going to go for it regardless into turn 1. Boyan is going to try and get past Soul Demon. Wheel to wheel we go. This is playing into the hands of Wardy, who's now got 1.5 seconds to Boyan. Is he going to be able to close that? What is happening in this race? What's happening to Soul Demon? Suddenly dropping back so far behind Boyer for some reason. Four laps remaining, including this one. That might have just won Wardy this race. Bourne is closing a little bit, but I'm sure Soul Demon is going to be able to get past on this straight. As he runs wide though, but he does have the DRS. Soul Demon in the kicks hours, closing, but he stay behind for now. At the moment, it's a fight for P2 rather than the race win. Tolu and Jumpy Painter for P4. Neither of them have got a time penalty. Alpha Eyeball is having a go at Toursteri. And that is sketchy grip of the inside now. Wheel to wheel, and the Williams gets past, so bit of contact between the two as Alpha Paul has kept his nose in there. Now Williams, with sketchy grip, tries to perform the switchback, but Alpha Paul is able to stay ahead of the Williams. He went from trying to go for the move to having to defend his P9. He's now also dropped outside the DRS range of Tuisteri. On to the penultimate lap of this race. Soul Demon is going to retake second place. And he's now within DRS range of Wardy. Is this a strategic masterclass for Soul Demon of dropping behind earlier on, letting Boyan get past? Or is Wardy still too quick? Now he's outside DRS range once again. A bit of contact as half-high ball. Gone off track, fighting with Kainzan. P10 now as Sketchy Grip has got past as well. Half-high ball is now all the way down to P11. And he's got Kai up his inside, but that is not quite going to work out. Wardy leads by 1.1 second. Soul Demon is not going to be close enough to have a go at the Haas. As we go on to the final lap of this race, Wardy leads by 1 second. Soul Demon can't do anything defend against Boyan, and Boyan is going to take second place on to the final lap of this race. But he does not have the ERS to try and attack Wardy. And the Haas driver looks to get his first win of the season. Behind, it's a massive fight as well for P4. Toru and Jumpy Painter. Sauber once again scoring very good points as they're in P3 and P5 at the moment, but Jumpy Painter's looking to get past as he goes for the switchback wheel to wheel, and he pushes his car inside, and that's a penalty, a 3-second time penalty with Toru now on the outside. Bit of contact. Getting quite rough on these final few laps. But Jumpy Painter at the moment in P5. Boyan has fully closed the gap, but Wardy, he's got the ERS. But he doesn't have the fuel, it seems like. The light is flashing, but there's only a handful of corners remaining. Wardy in the lead of the race as we go into the final corner. And the Haas driver is going to come across the line to win the Qatar Grand Prix. Wardy is your race winner here in Qatar, ahead of Boyan, ahead of Soul Demon, as they finish within 1 second. What a fight to the end. There's Toru, there's Jumpy Painter, and Lennon separated by a fraction of the second. A few hundreds, and Jesus, after all that, secures P5. Tuisteri in P7, Kainzel and Alpha Wall. They round out the top 10. Shark, Sketchy Grip, Kai, Sapphire, and Just Football FC. But what a race for Wardy, as he is your race winner. Missed out on pole position by a few hundreds. Certainly didn't miss out on the race win. What a superb drive to finally get Haas off the ground this season. Wardy P8 in the championship. A load of points to close the gap. Great race from Boyan as well, as he had to close the gap again after the pit stops. But he sure was in contention on the final few laps from pole position. Couldn't quite convert it into the race win, but a P2 still a very good result. Toru gets the point for the fastest lap, and Jesus from 16th on the grid to P5. Great drive from him. These are your final results, with 5 retirements. Marcel Piet, Critical Skills, Sly Deecham and Kind Fuel did not make the end of the race. Jesus once again with the masterclass of not getting a time penalty. Well, that sees the end then of round 3. It sure has been a great race. I'm already looking forward to the next one, which is next week around the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia. A very fast and tricky street circuit. That will be for next week. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.